Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another Baxter Student Ambassador Program webinar. It's Wednesday, February 20th, and presenting for us today is Natalia Munoz Cuevas, one of our BSAP finalists from Seneca College. Hi, Natalia, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you, Daniel?
I'm doing good, thanks. So just before we get started, I'd like to let everyone know that if you're viewing today's webinar on the computer, please hold any questions you may have until the end, or you can submit them into the chat box or the Q&A box, which are both found in your Zoom toolbar. And those questions will be answered after the presentation has finished. Okay, Natalia, if you'd like to go ahead and share your screen, you can start whenever you're ready.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, I hope you can see it. Okay, so good morning. My name is Natalia, and I am going to present in this webinar the popular travel company Contiki. First of all, I would like to thank you to all of you that you're listening to my webinar, and I hope you find it useful and interesting. I would like to begin with the agenda for today. First, I will begin with an overview of the company, explaining what Contiki offers and what do they do. Also, I will give you two samples of products that Contiki offer. And once we have an overview of the company, we will start learning how to identify the customers and their needs, a couple of tips of how to sell Contiki to new customers. Then I will mention the tools to travel agents that Contiki offer. And to finish, I will mention my references. And if you have any questions, I will answer them at that time. First, I would like to make a quick introduction about myself. My name is Natalia, and I am 28 years old. I am in the last semester of the Travel Services Specialization Program at Seneca College. I was born and raised in Spain, and in the last few years, I have had the amazing opportunity of traveling and living in different countries. First, I lived in the US for 2 years, and then I moved to Quito, Ecuador, where I have worked as a revenue analyst in an airline. And now I am here in Canada working part-time as a travel agent in Scarborough. If you feel curious about my professional experience, you can also take a look at my LinkedIn link that is on this slide. And okay, let's start with a bit of information about Contiki. Its founder, John Anderson, started the business in London, UK, when he was traveling Europe and ran out of money. He wanted to continue his trip, so he thought that it would be a great idea to share the accommodation, transportation, and other services with other young people like him. And that's basically how Contiki was born in 1962. Contiki counts with more than 50 years of experience and travels to more than 50 countries. Now you might be wondering what is the meaning of Contiki, in case it has any, and it actually has. It's the union of two words. Con is the short abbreviation of continent, and tiki means in Kiwi, good luck. One particular aspect about Contiki is that they are focused in a specific age range. It's for people from 18 to 35 years old. A great thing that Contiki does is that with their business, they positively contribute to local businesses and people in destination. Their motto is travel with no regrets, and their goal is to create experiences to inspire, excite, and challenge travelers. And what is that thing that makes Contiki special? Because they are always looking for innovation and uniqueness in accommodation and experiences, and more than 2 million people have traveled with Contiki. That makes them a very experienced travel company. They know what they're doing, right? Why are they successful? Because they work on creating real experiences. They are flexible in the product according to the client needs. Also, they own properties in Europe. They have contacts for 3 to 4 star rating hotels, and they also own hostels. They have an experienced team, not only in their headquarters, but also in destination. And they work really hard in creating food-related activities that exceed expectations. So an example for that is not the same having noodles in Vietnam than going to Vietnam and have dinner with a local family and having noodles there, right? So that's what brings value to the experience. And again, it's only for people from 18 to 35 years old. Now I'm going to talk about a bit about what Contiki offer. So Contiki is a company that supports sustainable tourism. They provide lots of leisure time so the client can do their own thing. They offer Wi-Fi everywhere, not only in most of the accommodations, but also in their coaches. Their coaches are really comfortable, and the costs are, everything is included, so there are no unexpected costs, such as the tips and gratuities, because they are inside the price already. And they travel to more than 50 countries scattered in the planet Earth, in Europe, Australia, USA and Canada, Latin America, Asia, New Zealand, South and East Africa, or North Africa and Middle East. Okay, now I would like to provide you with 2 itinerary samples of what we can find if we book through Contiki. The first is the bestseller in Europe, which is the Greek island hopping. This tour includes 12-night accommodation at 3 or 4-star rating hotels with Wi-Fi and daily breakfast, plus 4 dinners. Also a trip manager with driver and local guides. The transportation includes not only the transfers from the hotel to the airport and back, but also the ferries and the transfers from the ferry terminal to the hotel and back, etc. Also, they offer to join a group of 16 to 18 travelers of the same age range, plus 6 activities, and also 2 more that are add-ons or optional. This is a map of the itinerary, and the tour begins in Athens, where the clients will be spending 2 nights. Then they will go to Mykonos, where they spend 3, after to Santorini, another 3 nights, and then to the last island, which is Ios, for another 3 nights. And then they go back to Athens, where they will spend the last night. And after, they can take either their homebound flight or continue their trip to Europe. Another example of a trip with Contiki is to Latin America, specifically to Peru. This package is called Inca Panorama. It's a little bit shorter, it's 10 nights, and it includes the 10-night accommodation, daily breakfast, plus 3 dinners and 1 lunch. The trip manager, driver, and local guides are included, also the transportation. Join a smaller group of people of the same age range from 18 to 35 and 19 experiences, and also you can add some more if you want. This is a map of the itinerary that the clients will be taking. They will begin in Lima, then they will continue to Arequipa, after Colca Cañon, Puno, via Raqui they will reach Cusco, where they spend 2 nights, then go to Sacred Valley, Aguascalientes, and they will finish the trip in Cusco. Okay, now that we have that we know what is the product that Contiki offers, we then need to learn how to identify the Contiki customer and their needs to qualify them correctly. So there are 7 types of Contiki customers. The first type are the young professionals. This group of people have very busy schedules, and they really want to enjoy to the max their vacation time. In contrast, the educators have a very long period of vacation time, so they are more prone maybe to go to Asia and spend 3 weeks there and visit several countries. Another group of customers are the students and grads, because maybe the students wants to go to somewhere during the study breaks or celebrate the graduation. Also, medical professionals, which they would like to go to a relaxing beach or an area where they can take care of them. Another one are the solo travelers, and I would like to mention that this is a big type of customer, because over 55% of the Contiki passengers are solo travelers. So solo travelers are a thing, and it's really important that we have that in mind. Also, the couples and honeymooners, because nowadays the couples, they would like to have a more active honeymoon than going just to a resort down south and spend 10 days doing a few activities. And to finish, the gifters are the people that want to make a nice present to their son, daughter, sibling, or grandson, etc. Okay, now let's say that you have a new customer and you want to sell them Contiki, and you want to have a successful booking with them. So there are 5 tips that you can follow in order to have a successful booking, right? So the first one is the qualification. You will need to discover what type of passenger is. It could be either a discoverer, a high energy, in-depth explorer, independent insider, a camping, sailing, cruise and beach, winter and ski, short trips, and festivals. It will depend on the client's needs. Once you have qualified the client, you can explain all the inclusions to show the value. Explain to them that the accommodation, the transportation, most of the meals, the expertise of in-destination team activities, and tips and gratuities, everything is included in the package. Third, you can share the feedback from past travelers, in which 99% will like to travel again or recommend Kentucky. And also, you can mention that if they would like to travel for the second time, they will get a 5% discount on past travelers. Fourth, you can talk about that there are no cancellation fees, and in case the client is not able to travel, they can transfer the deposit to a friend. And the last one, which is the most important, use the scarcity rule. If you show urgency in the booking, saying that there are few seats left, the client is more willing to book sooner than later. Okay, and now you might be wondering, who are the millennials everybody's talking about? And it's really important that we know how they like things done, as they are the main source of business here for Kentucky. So who are millennials? Is the people who was born from 1977 to 1995. They love traveling and collect experiences rather than things. Plus, they love technology, especially social media, and they would rather to have communication via email or social media rather than over the phone. Okay, and now how would you reach them? So I would recommend you to use your own database. You may have a friend or a relative that has daughters, siblings, cousins of that age, and you can start from there. Also, you can attend to events where this group of customers attend, or be visible, make advertisements for them. But the most important is using social media. That's the most important one. So how would you communicate to millennials? So using social media or email, as I mentioned before, in a timely manner, because they are used to have everything as in the time they want it. So they won't be pleased if they have to wait for your response. Also, they also expect excellent customer service. And if you have a Facebook page, for example, and you want to use to make an ad, you should use relatable and good quality pictures to gain engagement. You can use hashtags, and it's really important to increase your follower numbers by asking your friends to promote your page. And of course, you have to be active on social media to gain visibility within this group. And okay, now that we are approaching to the end of the webinar, I would like to introduce you the tool that Kentucky offers to travel agents to make their bookings, and that's the Kentucky Agents Portal, where you can be updated with the latest info about deals, fun trips, webinars, destination info, and of course the booking tool that I'm going to explain to you in the next slides. So first of all, you will need to register. How do you do that? Okay, so you may have the username and password of the previous agent portal. So you just have to type in on the fields. In case you don't remember your username or your password, don't worry, we got you covered. You can click on the forget password or username, and we will get that for you. If you have never had login credentials with us, you can click on the sign up button. You will be asked about the IATA number of the agency and any other information that you may not have handy, but you can always ask your manager about that, and you will get it fast. Now that you are inside the portal, and you have two search engines to use. The first one is a quick search feature in which maybe your client doesn't have a specific idea of what they want to do. So you can use these three fields in order to have some packages to offer them to them, right? So you have to look for you have to add the destination, the travel window, and the price range. If you want to go more specific, you can use the filter trips, where you can add your destination or several destinations the client wants to visit, the travel between one date to another, the length of the trip, the price, and if you have qualified correctly your client, you can also select on the checkbox at the bottom the travel styles. Once you have selected the trip that you want to share to your client, you will have the trip details where you have an overview of the package that you're going to offer, where you'll see the price, the length, the price per day, the inclusions, etc. If you want to share this information to your client, you can click on the right button at the top that has an email icon or a print, and then you can forward that information to your clients. Now, let's say that the client wants to book. So what you have to do is look on the search bar for the package that you want to book, and a screen like this one will show up, and you have to look for the departure dates that you want, your client wants, and click on the Book Now button. Once you click on the Book Now button, you have to follow the following 4 steps that I'm going to explain it to you right now. First, you will be taken to the trip overview, where you have an overview of the trip, with the departure and return date, with the price, and you can display the costs based on the number of passengers that are going to do the trip, and also how are you going to build the configuration of the hotel room. So maybe you want to put them in a triple room or in a double room, single room, it depends, and it always comes with the price, right? Once you have that set up, you have to click on continue, and then you will be taken to the flights and extras option, where you can add flights in case you're interested, or extra hotel nights for the pre and post tour. If you don't want to, you don't really have to. You just click continue and go to the next step, where you have to put the passenger details. You will be asked to add the name, date of birth, email address, etc. And once you have that, you go directly to the payment details. You can either pay the amount in full. You can put the booking on hold. You can pay the $200 deposit, and you can choose the payment method that suits the client with the form of payment, the credit card information. Paid the deposit, and you want to add and you want to add, you want to make the final payment, or you want to add the flights, or you want to add extra hotel nights. So you go to the manage your booking section that you can reach by using your booking confirmation number in the travel agent's portal. You just type it in, and a screen like this one on the right side of this slide will come out. And let's say that you want to add extra hotel nights. So you just have to click on travel extras, and add the extra nights with the dates, and add to basket. And then you go and finish the payment, or you can click on the financial tab and make the final payments. And that's a wrap for today. These are the references that I have used to make this webinar. And I hope you really liked it and that you have find it useful. And if you have any questions, I'm ready to answer them. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Natalia. And so again, everyone is welcome to submit any questions that you may have to either the chat box or the Q&A box, and I can read them out to Natalia.
Hi, Natalia. My name is Ian Stalker. I work with Dan. I gather you've seen quite a few, looked at quite a few Contiki itineraries. Is
Yes.
there any one that you thought looked particularly interesting?
Oh, I really like the Greek island hopping.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
great.
I really liked it because now that I work in a travel agency, we are specialized in Greece. So I really like, I don't know, the hotels. Like there are really nice 3-star hotel options that hasn't anything to, you know, be jealous of a 5-star. So I think it could be a really great option for me to go. I wouldn't mind.
Great, thanks.
Thank you, Natalia.
You're welcome.
Jenny says, thank you, Natalia, great job. What was the most interesting piece of information you found during your research? And do you have any suggestions of how to better market to young travelers?
Okay. So what I really like about Contiki during my research, I just noticed is that they know very well how to reach millennials. Like the pictures they use, like you see it and you see yourself there. So I think just the marketing itself is amazing. Um, Also, the flexibility they offer, the fact that you can transfer the deposits, it's like it's very well thought for young people that they don't really know what they are doing like in a few months, right? So they are very flexible to that. That's yeah, it's an overall actually, but those are the things that I found very interesting.
Great, thank you. And thank you, Jenny, for your question. And Natalia, what would you say was the greatest or the biggest challenge you faced when preparing for this webinar presentation?
The biggest challenge? Probably the part of how to sell Contiki, because it was required to focus the presentation to travel agents, right? So maybe think on that from that perspective, it took me a little bit more time.
Okay, thank you. So I do believe that's it for the questions today, but I would like to thank everyone that tuned into the webinar today. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your day. And Natalia, thank you so much for your great presentation.
Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for listening to my presentation.
Definitely. And on behalf of Baxter Media, I'd like to thank you for participating in BSAP 2019. We'll be in touch.
Okay, great.
Thanks, Natalia.
Thank you.
Take care,
Thank you
everyone.
so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.